Building a Modern Prairie Sconce, Part 2 at randallprice.com. I wanted to give you a quick update on the sconce. All of the parts are cut out and I've begun applying the finish. I decided to put the finish on before assembling the sconce because of all the small pieces, mainly the slats, which would be hard to put finish on once they were installed. I'm using a 3-step finishing process. The first step is a trans-tint dye to dye the wood. The second step is just a basic oil stain, and the last step is a lacquer finish. Here are some examples of each step. Here's just a piece of raw oak. This is oak with the trans-tint dye applied, and it just gives a basic brown background finish to the oak. Then I applied the stain. The stain really brings out the grain in the oak. And finally, the last step is the lacquer finish. The lacquer really brings out the depth and gives a good finish. That's a satin lacquer. Here are all the individual parts for the sconce, and they're in various stages of finish. The 4 pieces that make up the rectangular frame of the sconce have just the trans-tint dye on them. They're in the center of the picture. The other pieces have both the dye and the stain applied. So the next step is to stain the remaining pieces and then apply the lacquer. In part 3, I'll show how I make the shade from handmade paper and a styrene lampshade material, and I'll also show final assembly of the sconce. For woodworking plans, tips, and techniques, visit randallprice.com.